Hey guys, this is a pre-recorded match. We're playing against Asian and Sensation on Highview, and he's playing as HRE. Go into caster mode. So, we've been messing around a little bit with a build order. We used to do Mangudai Rush way back in like Season 2, Season 3. and my build order build for that is kind of out of date, and it's not really optimized to the best of like possibilities. So I've been playing around with my Mangudai build, and I think I've got a better build order. I'm still fine tuning some things. There's still some things that I'm not really sure how I want to incorporate it, because it's a little bit cheaper to produce Mangudai than Keshiks. So there's a little bit of a timing there in terms of when to get certain upgrades, when to invest into trade versus into a second infrastructure, into a blacksmith, etc. So there's a bunch of things. But this build or this game, we do kind of start thinking about doing that. Over here, we get a little bit unlucky. We start on our spawn and immediately run into a scout, and he's got an inside angle on us, so he's going to pick up basically all of our sheep, and we're only getting this one sheep. So really rough start for us here. And he does it because he's going 2 scouts. This is a really good move for the HRE because it secures you a lot of food under your TC, and it denies your opponent a lot of sheep. So he's going to deny me, let's see, 1, 2 more, 3 more sheep, at least 3 more sheep, which is a really big deal because he's already denied me like 2 more over here. So he's denying me like 5 sheep. So it's a really big play by him, or a smart play by him. But yeah, he's taking up like 1,200 food for me. So over here, we're going to cut off angle. We know that he's going to come over here, it's just straight across and over. Or what I would assume he would do. So we're trying to get a cut off and try to pick up some sheep from his side before he gets over there. His other scout is scouting the other side. Build wise, we're just doing a 9-2, and we're going into a third onto here. We are going to try our fast Mangudai build here. I wanted to try it out. Highview is a pretty good map for trading and for little raids and stuff. HRE is also a civ that has a bunch of relic play, so that's what we're trying to do, is deny that. Yeah, he's got 7 sheep here, so this is a really nice pick. But you can see here we've got the cutoff on him, and we're just trying to pick up some sheep from his side, and he's behind our con, so we're pretty confident about that part. He does start burning down our Ubu. We're tapping up now with the Silver Tree. And Silver Tree is nice just because a little bit cheaper cost for your traders, allows you to boom a little bit harder than your Deerstone. You can see a little bit of a route here. We're able to pick up a couple sheep, deny a couple sheep from him. It would have been nice to get this 3rd sheep here. And what we're going to do here, after age up, we're going to pull through these 4 villagers, send them to our Ubu, and have all 4 of them start building the range, just so we can get our range up and Mangudai producing as fast as possible. In terms of our split here, we go, after this 3 on wood, we go 6 on the food, or 1 more on the food and 1 more on the gold, for a total of 3 on gold. So it'll be a 6-3-3 split, and then we're just going to be rallying on the food after this. So we get a nice little grab here. Let's switch players. So he's almost scouted the whole map. Good on him. We still got to scout this back corner and our own corner. We didn't scout this because he knew he was over there. We knew that he had scouted it. So we're just dropping these couple of sheep off. Almost mess up here, dropping the sheep right by his scout. And we're just going to finish scouting, see if we can pick up a couple more sheep here and there. I think we pick up 1 more over here, but I can't remember. Anywho, so we age up and we're tapping up an archery range, and we're going to send our Silver Tree over to this corner over here. And I had no idea he was walling already. So, yeah, always good to watch back the replay and see how people play. So he gets a really sneaky wall off immediately, off rip. It's a good move. Over here, we're still just scouting. He's getting some damage here, but we're going to get the Mangudai out in time to deny this burn down. which is going to be nice. Definitely sucks that we're going to lose this a little bit of trading there because he's going to be able to well us off. Let's go slow us down a little bit. Also, the fact you pick yellow makes it hard to notice these things sometimes. Like, obviously we hadn't scouted it, but it just makes it tough to see sometimes. So we do try to aggro onto this one scout, get him to run off. Again, this guy runs off. So we're happy with that. We're just taking our con. He's just running around. He starts dropping a tower here, an outpost. So we are trying to get our Mangudai over in time to deal with him, but we aren't able to. We kind of knew we weren't going to be able to. And this is kind of one of those instances where we did end up picking one more sheep. When you're going for this Mangudai play, if they start walling, start doing towers and stuff, it really does counter you quite hard. And he decides to quick wall here with his villager. Again, our Khan should be able to get the pick on this one villager here. It's close, but we should be able to get it. We've got 4 Mangudai on the way, and we're going for a blacksmith first instead of stables. And this is kind of just what the build order is. I still gotta publicize it, or yeah, publish it, make it. I don't know. We pick off that villager. We start running out. And he starts walling over here. We're trying to get a pick here. It's a really nice wall because it funnels me into his towers here. And basically into the TC as well. So he does a good job. He's able to run here. And we can't really do anything here, so we have to fall back. Trade starting for us over here. And we have a bunch of idle villagers on food here. So big mistake here on our part. And just idling them here. We do have to fall back. We try not to lose any Mangudai, and we just kind of rethink what we're gonna do. Our Khan's over here, and we just send Mangudai over here to start killing some of these wolves because it's very annoying. Wall is going to finish, and he's dropping a gate on us as well. So our first traders are going to be on the way, and they're not going to be able to trade. So that's definitely a little bit of a painful situation when that happens. We're rotating, and part of the reason that this is such a bad start for us because we didn't get any sheep. So this is kind of a good test on this build as well because it kind of pressured us into having to rotate super early for food because we basically brought back like 3 sheep, which is basically nothing. Like a fifth of the sheep that are on the map, so really bad. We do have our blacksmith out, and we did get our +1 damage on our balanced projectiles. And we're just massing a lot of villagers on wood here. We still haven't realized that this has happened. We're just trying to deal with these horsemen. If we look at our vision here, we know that these horsemen were over here on this way, and we're trying to deal with the scout. And so we're just pulling back. We are going to repair this Ubu. We don't want the scout to get this burned down. Get an easy pick here. We were able to get 1 more sheep, which was nice. We're over here. We are dropping a tower. We know that there's horsemen out and about on the map. And we just realized that there's Wallace here. We don't have any stables. We don't have anything to burn down. So we're just going to have to pull these villagers. Kind of unfortunate, but it's just something we have to do. We don't have anything to deal with this. We didn't see this wall. So, again, just kind of part of the deal. We see the horsemen recording around the back. And, excuse me. We're going to try to deal with these horsemen. So we're going to try to chase them off. Villagers here burning away, which is nice. And we don't have any wood right now, so it's really idling our eco pretty badly here. So we try to drop here. We're trying to find where his villager is because we figured that there's still a villager around here. We do see him pulling over here to repair the wall. We're going to bring a Mangudai over to try to deal with that. Behind this, we do have survival techniques and we do have wheelbarrow. I forgot to mention that on the build, you basically get your Mangudai and your first Mangudai and you get your wheelbarrow pretty much at the same time. So it's actually a little bit earlier than the Keshik Rush build in terms of when you get that wheelbarrow produced. Over here, we send a Mangudai to check out this relic, the camp the relic, and he does an interesting job here because he decides to pull some army over here and check this market. And I think it's just to deal with any sneaky trade. And he's on this deer patch over here. So that's one thing I would have liked a little bit better was to have caught him on this rotation. Maybe a little bit of an overcommittal sending all my troops up here to deal with this guys. And he sends his horseman way over here, which was kind of a weird play. on his part, and I think he might have meant to send them over here to this market. So, anywho, we do have Keshiks out. We are going to start rallying them to our market over here to kind of deal with any raids because we expect these horsemen to start showing up. They never do. We are starting to get our trade online, which is nice. He is slow tapping up with the Burgrave. He must feel like he's in a pretty strong position right now. And our eco is pulling ahead, which is nice, and our army is also ahead. And one nice thing about the Mongols now is with the Keshiks, you can kind of deal with a Castle Age army for some time. You're not going to be end of the world behind against the Castle army now in feudal. So he's reached Castle. We know we got to defend the relics. We have a pretty nice spawn for relics. We have one in the corner. These two basically on our side. So we basically have three that are basically on our side. This one is his basically, and then this one is his, but it's pretty far from his base. So I felt like I could definitely deny a bunch of relics here. We get this tower up in the nick of time, and we're starting to rally troops over here to start dealing with this front part of our base. We're able to pull this villager. And he's got some horsemen here. Luckily, it's just horsemen, so we weren't super worried about this. We are rallying troops over to this relic to help deny this relic, and we're pulling our big mass over here to this other relic. And we do notice that on the Fog of War, there's only 2 deer on this deer patch, so that means he's got villagers over here collecting. He is able to spot us here, and I'm surprised how quickly he spots us. Okay, so yeah, the vision on those towers is huge. That's crazy how much they see. I guess my tower does the same thing. Yeah, it does the same thing. So he spots us, and we're able to get this burn down. We only have 2 Keshiks here, so the burn down takes a lot longer than I would like, and we're gonna lose. Oh, he hasn't upgraded it, but yeah, okay. So that's why I stay here, because he hasn't upgraded it, which is okay then. This tower is upgraded and is starting to do some damage. We're losing a trader here. But we have an army here, we have a Keshik here, we have Mangudai, we have the tower, so I'll take this trade for a couple of traders all day. And he is starting to filter knights across. We see him run by our base. We're ready to garrison, but he's ignoring us, so we just keep him moving. If you look at his base, he's got a massive men-at-arms, so he's coming over. Since we pushed him off a deer, we're able to kind of delay kind of this Burgrave push by him. But we see the knights over here, but we have a couple of Keshiks, a couple of Mangudai, so we're going to be able to deal with this, and we're just rallying more troops over here. Again, this is defended with 2 Keshiks and a Mangudai, so we felt pretty comfortable about being able to deny this. We have a really big mistake here. He raids here on our food, on these villagers, and we lose all of our vills, which is it's huge. We're down behind villagers now. We just lost like 11 villagers there, so a really big deal there, losing all of those villagers. Really painful, but we are able to stop this knight. We are pulling the Mangudai over to help deal with the men-at-arms because he's going to dive our base. We were starting to build towers, and we have a bunch of Keshiks here. We have 5, so it's going to help to chew up these men-at-arms as well as the arrow fire. I would have liked to have my +2 balanced projectiles at this point, but we don't. And he's just starting to flood units across at this point. He's doing kind of the Burgrave thing because he's got enough food currently. And the big thing is with these kind of rushes is just like, denying this deer was really big because it made that rush. It really slowed down the amount of units that he would have here. He could have had these 5, probably an additional 10 on that mass pushing us. So that was slightly fortunate in our part, being able to hit that deer when we did. And he's going to go pick up this relic now. We're okay that we're happy we're denying this one, but yeah, it is a little unfortunate. We do have to pull this army to deny this. I would have liked maybe to have pulled these couple of units that I had, a couple of Mangudai that I had, and sent them over there. So a little bit unfortunate. We are bringing our army over, and we're sending it over now to this front. We wanted to see what we could see in terms of the front of his base and what our opponent was doing. We're not sure if he had transitioned onto farms or what he was really up to, and we are sending units over to stop this relic. You can just see the timing's a little bit unfortunate here. Would have been great to have stopped this relic, but Again, there's still 4 on the map, and these 2 are still really far. One of them we're protecting, and this one is the only one that I probably could have done a much better job denying that one as well. Eco-wise, you can see his TC is going, but he's only on 1 TC. And we got a ton of villagers on wood. And so we're going to start looking into possibly going into a 2 TC kind of a play. And we also still trading traders. We've got 10 traders, so we're making good gold income right now because of this. If you look at our gold income, I guess we're only at 300 right now, but it's not bad at all. All things considered, we try to hit his deer patch over here. He pulls an army to fight us here. He's got 8 men at arms here, so it's something we can't fight. But we are able to do a little bit of damage here, and we're able to kind of harass a little bit. I think we picked off 1 vill. He's raiding our lines over here, and he kind of puts us on the back foot because we have this army here, and we want to push. And then it's really unfortunate because we realize that he's on this other deer patch. But he's got this these palisade walls up, so we're gonna try to burn our way through here. Send our Keshiks to deal with these villagers. A little bit of a misclick on our play because he's trying to get to the other side of the wall and he can't. Let's try to pick this relic. We do have 5 Keshiks here and 1 Mangudai, so we're able to sweep that up really easy. And again, he's just kind of pushing us here. We have a Keshik, a couple Keshiks on the way, so we're able to clean this up. Still haven't been able to get this outpost up. One thing about this outpost too, I would have liked it over here, a little bit in front of our market instead of blocking where another market could have gone adjacently. It's not a big deal. We get this burn down, and then we're going to push through, so we're going to go ahead and try to get to these villagers. And the big thing is, even if we don't get to these villagers, we're pushing them off of these deer, and we try to split our army here, just in case he pulls it out. I think he does a really good job of realizing this, and just committing with these men-at-arms. And I just have a straight Mangudai here, so we're not going to be able to actually get through and do much damage. He does have a couple knights in the back of our base. If you go to our vision here, oops, sorry, you can see we're trying to get some damage in on these villagers. And we're just running around. We're willing to, since we split our army, we're willing to sacrifice some of them, and we have dropped a 2nd TC. So since we're taking so much damage from that one raid, I thought it was really important to get this 2nd TC up. And we get it up fairly early as well. When you're trade booming, you get this as a 2nd TC up pre-20 minutes. It's a really good thing because it really helps to keep your economy balanced and going, because trade boom is very strong. But the minute that you're trading resources for wood or food, and you're not be able to just use your gold as gold, you are actually losing a lot of resources, because the trade rate is good for a little bit, but it's not for a long time. So 130 gold to get 100 food is definitely not ideal. So it's good for when you're in a pinch, and then later on you'll see, like, I guess it doesn't really matter at a certain point, but you definitely don't want to be trading it if you don't have to for resources. So right now he's got a couple knights and he's shutting down a trade, and we're just gonna have to fall back. I'd like to get a little bit more aggressive here, but he's got these men at arms and we can't really push his base because of this, and we are able to push him off of the deer, and he's going to transition into farms, so that's okay. We're gonna be okay with that. We have our Mangudai or Keshiks over here, and they're pushing him. One thing I think I could have done a much better job too was getting more military production buildings up a little bit earlier. Food-wise, you can see we're suffering. We only got 10 villagers on food, so we're rallying both of our TCs onto food now, and we are getting pastures up. So that's definitely going to try to get us back into this game. And we've killed a bunch of villagers, but you can see he's killed a lot more. Over here, he's got his men at arms. We got some Keshiks, but this is not a favorable fight, so we're going to pull this back. We do have this other force. We had 3 control groups at this point, and they're pushing forward. We see this army. We're mostly Mangudai in this army, so we're just going to pepper at these guys while we bring these guys over. We were going to bring these guys over to fight, but we're just going to leave it on the relic. We really wanted to secure that relic. Again, it would have been good to leave another pocket of units here. We're going up to 2 markets, and we have left a couple of Keshiks just in case there's another raid. Over here, we're just harassing these men at arms, and now our Mangudai, which were 8 Mangudai, 3 knights, is a lot more balanced because we're bringing 8 knights. So we got 11 Keshiks, 10 Mangudai. So this is a nice little mix, 50-50. It's kind of what you want. Sometimes 50-50, 60-40, something like that. So usually a little bit of Mangudai favorite, and later on in the game too, is going to be nice. So he hits us with 3 knights over here. Our army is fairly close. Again, that's one big plus of having a cav army. We do notice he hasn't picked up this relic yet, so we're happy to see that. And we're rotating, we're pushing up over here. Our food is starting to get online again. We've got 26 on food and 17 on wood. So actually our wood's kind of folding back, but the big thing now is actually our gold is kind of suffering. We can't get our gold to get going because of these night raids, so we're going to start sitting back and trying to reestablish our trade line, because if our gold gets shut down too much, we're going to be in a really bad situation. And we're still producing pastures. We're trying to keep up with our villagers. You can see that they're going out and hunting the sheep before they even get to the rally point, because we're running out of food here. And yeah, this is at this point, we're 20 minutes in. We're not at castle. Our opponent's in castle, so we're going to look to castle ourselves. We're trying to get our trade going again, try to get it back online. Again, not a great amount of traders, but having the double markers is going to help, and we're going to try to get a couple more here. We have this hero sheep running around with us. If you look at our opponent's base, he's fully walling. He's starting to get a little bit more turtley here with his base. I mean, his base is already fairly defensive and turtley, but he's basically fully walled at this point. It's just this one little wall that needs walling, and we get a nice timing for this raid because he's going over onto a wall. So he sees our troops here. He's attentive, which is good for him. He's gonna go ahead and burn. We're gonna try to burn down this mill, and we decided to back out because you see there's knights over here. We have no army to deal with this. I was looking to age up. See, we're gonna drop the curl tie here, drop off our wood before we do. And as you can see, this is why I wasn't building any troops, because I was really trying to get gold for my age up. At the time of this raid, we got up to 12 traders, so we traded some food. We got some resources. We traded some wood, some food. If you see the trade rates, exchange rates, we've been trading gold. We've been trading wood for gold. So we're getting over here. Our army's almost all the way back. His men at arms have come across the map at this point. But the big thing is that we've aged up, and that's going to help really equalize our fights for us, because it's not easy to take these kind of fights when you're an age behind. Like, you can sustain it kind of as Mongols now with early knights, early keshiks, but it's definitely not where you want to be too long. So the fact that we've been here 22 minutes is long enough, and we'll decide to rotate. He hasn't gone for deers again because he's just staying to the wood where he's safe. And we clean up this men-at-arms army. We are getting our keshik upgrade. One thing I did realize too is the keshik upgrade is only 30 seconds, and the veteran Mangudai is like a full minute. So a little bit something you have to keep in track, keep in mind when you get these upgrades in castle, is that your keshiks are going to be upgraded before your Mangudai are. We are starting to drop some towers here. We want to get some Springle towers. We need some more static defenses to help defend this trade line. Kurultai is going to help, because it's going to help leaving the Kurultai on your trade line. You can use it to push forward, but we're already kind of in a rough spot. Our eco has been getting raided constantly. We're up to 6 traders, or down to 6 traders at this point. But we have gone up to 3 markets, so that's going to help us boom back up. And again, Mangudai hasn't come through yet, the upgrade. These stack defenses are going to really help chew away any defenders that push us, and it's going to really help give us an edge here. When we're defending, we do get the prayer turnout. We rushed it with a bunch of villagers on food because I've been defending this all day, and I'd like to pick it, so we're going to do that. He gets a couple knights. His knights are over here trying to get some kills on our traders, and again, we're okay with it because we're mass producing from 3s to markets, and that's going to help get us back in this game. Behind this, he starts pushing us with spearmen on our main market. So he does a good job of just constantly fighting us here. And so we see the spearman here. Our villager, again, kind of in the clutch, gets this up just in the nick of time. It's gonna get immediately burned, but get a little bit of damage, which is kind of nice. And we're gonna just bring our army over and try to deal with this. He is dropping a keep on this gold, so he's doing kind of a keep crawl, trying to get map control as he does this. Our monk is out, so we're finally gonna start picking up relics. There's still 4 relics on the map, so he could have been a lot more aggressive in terms of picking up these relics, as well as us. We could have been a lot better about defending them. We get a couple drop-offs there. It sucks we lose our traders, but the traders are so cheap at 60 gold, 36 gold if they come from a silver tree, that they're almost paying for themselves in one trip anyways. So we're fine with just losing them. Trading basically wood for gold and a little bit of food. And again, more knights coming in. This time we do have one Springle Tower, one Archer Tower, a little bit of a meme because it's not going to do anything, but we clean this up. And we're going to start burning down this mining camp to get some healing on our Keshiks. And we do realize now that he's over here. A little bit unfortunate. Again, our trade, he's doing a pretty good job of raiding our trade, keeping it offline. We're only on 7 traders. So, again, just unfortunate. We do have this first relic coming in, which was nice. Yeah, so we're just going to bring our army over. We're going to deal with these knights. There's only 7 of them, and he doesn't super invest into his military to push us. He's still really trying to get his eco like stabilized. So, and it's good for us because it wasn't the best of games. I feel like against a better opponent we end up losing this match. So, yeah, so we're able to get his knights to fall back. Again, Springald's help is picking off a knight here too, and you can see our trade line is basically fully vision. We do have an Uber weapon going, and we're just getting upgrades for our towers. We do quick tap this tower, and we're going to build a Gur. And we're rallying troops over onto... We do spot these knights diving us, so we're able to garrison, no problem. So, just kind of a little raid, doesn't really do much. And our monk is going to go pick up this relic. And he's just making more knights. And he's picked up 1 relic already. Oh, so he's picked up... That must have been the relic from his base that he dropped in that castle. It's not a bad idea. Relics are really strong for HRE. Since we did pick that up, we decided to bring these guys home. I probably could have just stayed. And it's kind of funny because on this timing, because if I had stayed or if it had been a little bit later, I would have caught these villagers in transition to this gold, which would have been a pretty big deal. You can see we're just kind of running around trying to find our opponent where he's at, and we catch him in rotation here, and which is nice. We get a nice little hit here. Take out a bunch of knights here, and I'm taking off like 5 of them, which is always nice. At the same time, he's hitting us on the other side, but we're massing units over here. They're getting Yamor, so they're going to get pretty good damage. TC's doing some damage, so they stopped chasing, but we're not. Would have been good to keep committing there, so a little bit of a mistake on our part. He does start picking up relics here. And so he picked up this other relic, and we picked up another one. Where is that relic? It's on the way back. So he's getting his second relic, we're getting our second relic, and the third relic is up here in the corner. I do forget to see it until much later, so we basically play even on this. And now he's quick tapping up with his Palace of Swabia. The fact that his villager count is only at 70 is kind of an indication of his skill level as well. Maybe it's just because he's investing so much in other things, but he just kind of mess up here. We do try to get a raid going on the other side. We see this keep with the relic, and we're just going to try to burn our way through here and try to find some raids on the back line where we can. Our other army is still over here defending and feeling fairly comfortable where we're at. We got a ton of food, and it's just all about our gold, getting our gold back online. And we're up to 12 traders, and you can see we're trading resources here. We're trading a bunch of food just so we can keep producing units here or get upgrades. I'm not sure. A little bit unfortunate. We get this burnt down, but it takes so long that he's able to catch us with a bunch of spears, and we lose a bunch of units here. So we only get 6 Keshiks that live in the con, and we're just gonna fall back. And we see he hits Imperial. We're gonna garrison here, I'm sure, fairly quickly, hopefully. And we do bring this army over to help clean this up. But yeah, it's just we see him. He's building this wall over here, so we know he's gonna get a wall going. There's a wolf over there. We just keep falling back. And at this point, our trade's trying to get back online, but again, maybe 3 markets wasn't enough to get this back online and going properly. But because we've gone second TC, our villager count is actually fairly decent. We're sitting at 71, 76 villagers, so we have a decent amount of villagers. Our opponent's villager count is starting to spike though because his Palace of Suave is online down here. Yeah, so he's just cranking out villagers, setting up his farm eco, so he's getting ready for his boom and he's going to start pushing us. Behind this, we do have these villagers finished this one gold node that we've been mining basically the whole game. And since we've been trading, we haven't been really worried about it. And we're going to start dropping siege workshops. I'm expecting siege push soon, and it just hasn't happened yet. And I just figured it would be coming sooner than later. So his knights are kind of harassing us here. And we have our big army mostly over here. And then we see all these spearmen coming. So again, we're going to need our army to come deal with this. And we can't really engage these spearmen. We've only got 2 Mangudai here, so the damage is really pitiful. And we're going to pull these villagers to start building towers, start upgrading towers. We're now able to get to Imp Age, so we're going to go ahead and drop the White Stupa. Pulling food villagers to do so. Yeah. We'll bring over more army. He's diving us over here. We're going to garrison these villagers. Again, military infrastructure, you can see, not super hot. We've only got 4 buildings. He's just got, what, 3, 4, 5. Oh, he's got Burgrave, so it's like, what, 5? So he's basically got, technically he's got 10 buildings. So yeah. If you want a lot more aggro, he probably could have gotten this cleaned up a little bit easier. So, but either way, we get up to Imp. We're able to clean this force up again. Not the best of trades. And then we're committing to a bunch of pastures, which will give us the grand total of 21, which is almost enough to keep this amount of 40 food villagers going. These towers clean up this night raid, which is nice. Because again, this is why static defenses are very handy. We're going to rally knights over here, and we're going to rally Keshiks over to the other side. We do see a big massive spearman over here, so we're going to pull our army. And we were pulling our army over here because I thought he was going to dive onto the wood line. And then we see him coming down to the south, so we're just going to posture here. We start building a bunch of defensive towers. We are pretty much eating up this wood line. And we're eating up this one, but I also wanted to posture on this one up here on our front. Okay, Mangudai doing a bunch of damage. We're getting upgrades. We're getting Sia bow limbs, just regular ones. Plate cutter point, so that's +1 damage, as well as cannon emplacement. Where's the cannon emplacement going down? I think we're getting it over here if I remember correctly. Yeah, okay. So, we're going to lose traders. Again, we're up to 19, so we're finally kind of reestablished. Might have taken us too long to do so. Probably would have been good to drop the markets here. But our Mangudai are going to do a bunch of damage. We're going to get our +1 damage coming through right now. So we're going to start doing a lot more damage shot here. And behind this, we're just rallying a bunch of Keshiks up here. He's getting his elite knights. Considering he's been in Imp for as long as he has. And he's got 40 villagers on food. Part of it, it's, you know, these guys on Aachen are just going to town. But I mean, like over here, these villagers are going, but they're not really inspired or anything. So maybe that's why they're not the best. And he's just getting horticulture. Okay, so that's another thing. If you look at eco upgrades, a lot of people forget to get these eco upgrades, but they're really, really important, really big. I mean, I'm also forgetting because I'm only on level 1 as well. But the fact that he's getting his level 1 35 minutes in, and I've had mine in since Feudal Age, it definitely it adds up quite a bit to what you can do with the villagers you have. Getting let's say one Mangudai without any upgrades is costing you 7 villagers to get it done on food, to get it done constantly. But if you get level 3, it's going to take you 4 villagers to do. And if you get the improved ones, it could probably even take you less, like 3. So it really makes what you can do with your villagers just a lot more. It really, I guess it makes it exponential in some sense. Over here, we decided to drop a few more markets. We're going to go up to 6 markets. I felt like my trade was booming too slow, and it really has been. So we're back up to 21 now. But now that we're up to 21, you can see our gold is really starting to take off. We're at 1,300. Food income-wise, we're about the same as they are. Wood, we got a lot more on wood though than he does. But in terms of units, in villager spread, we're about the same. You can see eco-wise, we're about the same. And I felt like it was okay, but I wanted to get a little bit more eco going. I still have to get my stone commerce upgrade as well. We see these spearmen. Again, this is not a great army to really push was here. We garrison these villas. We don't want to lose the villas. Probably could have garrisoned these traders, but yeah, until there's like a fast garrison button for traders, I feel like sometimes it's not worth it. I'd rather trade out these units for his military. Again, we still have a pocket of Keshiks here, not doing much, and they're just kind of prepping for a raid. We're still getting our plus up. We're getting improved Sia bow limbs. We're getting our incendiary arrows. We're getting court architects. So we're getting a lot of upgrades here. If you look at our Uvu, we've also gotten our I can't remember what it is, shamanic influence or something. So our Paratens is working as Uvus now. We still gotta get biology, but he is sending in a bunch of elite knights. That is one thing. We don't have our Keshik upgrade. We're still on just veteran Keshiks, but we have a 11 Keshiks here, and we are under Kurultai. So that Kurultai is definitely going to give us a nice little buff here to our damage. And we are producing a ton of horsemen. We ran out of gold for a little bit there, so we're sending a ton of horsemen. We're getting our veteran upgrade, and they're just mass to help the units survive and hold. Again, we're still defending here. I really had to get my trade back online. I felt like I was really suffering in terms of my gold. Trade is now up to 38. You can see how quickly, once you committed these 6 markets, that we got up to numbers that we wanted to be in a matter of like 3 minutes. We jumped up 20, so really big to get the proper amount of units here. And then we see that he is pulling villagers over here. So luckily our army's nearby. Keep here would have been really troublesome. And we got incendiary upgrades. We got elite Mangudai, and we're just going to be able to shred this army pretty easily. So we drop our attack speed arrow. We're just going to sit here in the back. His spearmen are a little bit distracted because of the traders, and you can see how they just get evaporated here. So again, nice little. It's unfortunate because I'd like to be raiding, but we really have to get our trade online. So we're up to 37 traders. And stone commerce is on the way, which is going to help a bit. And we do have some cannon towers. And you can see we're just building a ton of towers just along our trade line here. We want to be able to stop this at all costs. And he's just funneling spears. He's massing spears, trying to shut us down. I think his manner to shut down our trade is definitely not the best. He's been like, massing units and getting little raids in, but again, like, it's just not the committed push he really needs. Even though he's got 53 on food, you can tell like he's cranking out on his food production and everything. He's making a ton of resources. So eco-wise, you can see now we've taken a little bit of an edge. We got 140 eco, 230. A little bit heavier than I would have liked, and I started to feel like my armies were starting to fall back. I'm getting elite horsemen here, superior mobility. I'm getting my raids. I'm getting bonus. I do have a mangonel here, just in case, to deal with a dive to help get some damage in. We do see these knights. We lose a couple units, but we're not too bothered because we have so many. We do run into a spearman here. Again, we're just going to shred this army and just kind of harass and fall back. We're going to be able to clean this up, send these villagers back to work. Having this cannon tower emplacement helps quite a bit and be able to deal with this. Over here, we're just harassing, trying to get these spearmen to commit onto a fight on us. And he's happily mining away all the gold on the map, but we're okay with that. We're just going to commit to trade and just keep building towers here. Again, just kind of a kind of a degenerate strat in some sense because I'm not doing anything besides trying to camp. But against HRE, you can tell like they're just super strong. So eco-wise, it's hard to contest sometimes if you're not trading. As Mongols, like if you're not trading, like that's your late game play always is trading. It's just your strongest eco. So once you get to this stage of the game, if you're like late game imp, you're almost in a position to beat pretty much any civ, as long as your trade is going with stone commerce and you can get some, and you've got towers up ready for upgrades. So over here, he's on this gold node, and we're gonna try to get this burn down on this keep. A little bit unfortunate, because we'll bring our Mangudai over, and we decide to re-aggro onto these villagers, but I should have just stayed attacking the keep. And you can see some guys are attacking here, the mining camp, and he pulls out more villagers, so they're just fighting here, but it's not a great fight, and we're pulling our Mangudai over to come kind of help equalize this. Biology upgrade is just coming through as well. But yeah, this keep's going to be able to hold because we don't have the army really to burn it down. Mangudai are great for taking out these guys, but they're not going to really do much besides that. Kind of unfortunate because I see this wall going up and I don't realize that it hasn't been fully built yet. And I come around the side here, and I could have gotten a really good shutdown just right here on all those villagers. So we unfortunately dive kind of into this keep, and I try to run past it and see what I can get in terms of raiding. He does send his knights up to counterattack us. We don't get the kill on this keep, but we're able to garrison here. We've got plenty of towers to garrison in, and we do have 2 cannon towers already. We are getting our tithe barns as well. But our opponent is basically fully walled here, and a chance to pick these villagers. We miss it, and they're going to be able to complete this wall. So, again, kind of unfortunate because we had a really good chance there to shut them down, that wall. And it definitely slows down your opponent when you do that. You see he's got this keep up front, and he's chasing us with the spearmen, so we're content just to do this. We do have a little bit of Mangudai over here to deal with any kind of sneaky attacks. And we're just building a ton of towers. You can see there's still more silhouettes of towers. We're still on 6, but we're up to 41 traders, which is a good number to be on in terms of 1v1 maps. 40 traders or so is fine. 40, 50 traders. And they're all bringing in good resources. We do still have to get our improved stone commerce though, which is going to help because we get an additional 10% of stone. So again, we're just rallying more army, and if we look at our vision, we have vision of this army coming up. We see bombards coming, so we're going to bring our Mangudai over, try to kind of deal with this. And at this point, we realize that I don't have any pop space for army because I'm on 135 villagers. So we do have a Mangudai to kind of deal with stuff, and we also didn't have a lot of infrastructure. So we just start dropping a ton of infrastructure. We got tons of siege. We're going to drop springholes. We're going to drop roller shutters. We're going to drop 12 stables. So we're really trying to commit because we have the eco is stabilized. We got 8,000 food floating. Opponent's got a lot of food floating as well, but we don't have any infrastructure to really pump out units. Neither does our opponent. I mean, he's got a lot of stables, and I'm not entirely sure why he would go so hard on stables, but yeah, that's basically all he's got. Interesting wall by our opponent, not connecting these two here as well. We are able to kind of clean this up, taking out 1 bombard, and again, we're not, I guess, winning this fight. Kurultai's repositioning here. We felt a little bit confident in being able to take kind of a more forward stance. But the Mangudai, I mean, doesn't look like we're winning this fight because we'll lose all this, but these Mangudai are going to be able to carry this fight against these Knights. The Knights will never be able to really dive into us. And again, unfortunate because only 4 Mangudai attacking here. We got a whole bunch to commit, but the big thing is we have a lot of infrastructure set up now. All these stables cranking out units. It's gonna be able to push back this with no issues. So we're able to push it back. The bombers are gonna have to fall back, and he's got 71 villagers on gold, which is kind of crazy. He's suffering for gold really bad, and he's really abandoned his wood production. So that's one thing too about not having that trade going in late game is you have to do a transition point always, and yeah, it can be kind of rough. If you look at our incomes right now, we've got more food per minute, more wood per minute, and a lot more gold per minute, as well as stone per minute. So we're in a really strong place to win this game. Again, we're sitting at 140 eco. It's more than I would like. We're at 47 traders, and the big thing for me was kind of I felt like my food was a little bit too much. I was trying to select some villagers to kill off here, trying to get more pastures. We're at 26 pastures. You can see villagers looking for things to do here because there's not enough sheep. Army's massing up, and I'm basically pop cap, but I don't really have much of an army. I got 20 knights, 20 Mangudai, and that's part of the other thing too. Our opponent also is super heavy on villagers, and that's what keeps this game kind of in this stagnated state because there isn't enough armies to actually do anything to push properly. We have a bunch of Mangudai kind of running around. We have some Keshiks, and we're going to go dive over here. We do see this keep. We're going to get some burn down damage on the keep. We do have a little bit of siege over here. And behind here, I mean, we got 2 cannon towers, a Springle tower, and a bunch of towers that need upgrades is what we have. Getting all of our siege upgrades at this point as well. Stupa, or Ubu upgrade, we needed our improved versions for raid bounties. And Blacksmith, we're pretty happy with everything. It'd be nice to get Damascus Steel and the improved biology more than anything. The siege stuff is okay. We just haven't really committed to siege. He has committed 5 bombards immediately to a Kurotai. So he's able to just basically just prep Kurotai super quick. And yeah, a little bit unfortunate for us. But again, you can see the Mangudai. Once you're an imp, the Mangudai actually do a lot of work. If they have a little bit of a front line, which they do here with these Keshiks. So we're able to just clean up all of these bombards, which is an expensive loss for him. So we take that out, and then he's setting up for trade now. He's gone up to 4 markets. I think we kind of saw here, you want to go like 6, 8, I don't know, 10 markets. You want a ton of markets to really transition your eco properly because of the training time and everything involved. So this is something for future reference. At this point, we killed off a lot of our villagers. We've gone down to 20. We put all of our food villagers over here to the Kurotai as well. We're floating a lot of food, and I felt comfortable just killing a bunch of them, just so I can get some military push going. And I'm getting my improved RAM upgrades. At this point, we know that the stone wall's up. It's going to be hard to push through. Just with a little bit of raids, because he should be fully stonewalled. You can see there's some holes here, but we're not privy to that information. And we knew this front and the open might still be open, or this front and the open, that this opening in the front might still be available to push through. So we're contemplating going through there. We see him rallying troops. He's trying to get onto a trade line. Yeah, we're not too worried about it. We're going to go over here. We're going to just burn down this castle. We've got 30 Keshiks here and 1 Mangudai. And the Keshiks have really good damage. Burn down damage once we have the improved torches, or just torches improved, not even the improved torches, additional torches improved. So yeah, we're getting some good little push. You're taking some map control, and I don't think we still haven't realized this one relic here, unfortunately. Oh, okay, so we have realized we're building a shaman now to go pick it up. Yeah, that's definitely a little bit painful that we haven't picked that up yet, losing a bunch of resources there. And we're just building more, and we're just still building towers over here. Again, it'd be nice to get more upgrades here going, get more cannon towers and placements, but it's got to be done. And we kill a bunch of Mangudai here, so we can get our rams through. We have 6 rams in production. We have a 5 siege workshops. I think we end up dropping a couple more siege workshops too. We have the Kurotai fixed, dropping cannon towers here, kind of as a forward base. And we're letting the Mangudai go die. I just felt like I wasn't going to need it. Our opponent wasn't really committing to mass archers or mass spears. He's going knights and basically just knights and spearmen, which is okay, I guess, in some sense. But if you're like minework knights, maybe. But like men at arms, you know, as HRE is kind of the play. So I guess it's because I'm mass knights that he just want to go for it. I can see that. I can understand that. He will win a siege war if he brings culverins. That's kind of one thing I was kind of worried about. I do have my upgrades though, basically maxed for all my siege except for my trebs and mangoes. Trebs I rarely make. The Mangudai one would have been nice to get. He pushes us here. We're getting burned down on this castle, and we're just gonna take this fight. Again, I commit my Keshiks here to just burn this down. I want to, you know, he's spending stone on this. Stone is more expensive as it goes throughout the game, so even just setting it on fire during a big fight like this is really nice. And we're losing units here, but we're not too worried about trading out. Behind this, we're sending a Ram Legion to punch a hole through his walls. We're seeing if he's on trade, if he's transitioning. He isn't on trade yet. I mean, he is. Like, his first traders are coming through now. They got 64 gold. I guess he has a better market position than I do. We got 65. Okay, no, we're the same. So, He's realized the Rams over here. Tries to build villagers to repair. Too little, too late. Our army's coming over. We have another wave of army coming in. So this is kind of where he starts falling apart a little bit, because we're basically have enough static defenses as home to defend ourselves here. We got like 3 cannon towers here. Cannon towers on the backside, just kind of randomly placed here and there. And we've gone super heavy on infrastructure now. If we click up all of our infrastructure, we can see what we've got. Yeah, 19 stables, 19 archery ranges, 16 stables, 5 ranges, or 5 siege workshops. So now we can really compete with his military production. And he's just building more stables. Again, I don't know if it's a bad call, because there are elite knights and they're better than Keshiks, but Mangudai aren't really a bad unit in Imp. They're really strong in Imp, actually. They do quite a good amount of damage against knights and units in general. So kind of an interesting thing. He's kind of trying to wall, and he like pops through the wall here. We try to come around the front here, and he doesn't have. He's fully walled the front here. We thought there might be a hole. He's fully walled over here. So he's basically super turtle at this point. He's just going to go for late game raids, and we're just flooding units over. And we just need more rams is what we need here to really start popping holes. Yeah, we're taking a fight here under keep fire. Bombards are safe, just blowing us up, and we're winning this fight, but it's not ideal. Again, over here, this hole has been patched. He does a really good job of shoring up the holes, but you can see the gold income there's a huge difference. You can see with our banks as well. I've got 15k gold at this point, 3,000 gold a minute, 1,000 stone a minute. So we're sitting really pretty here where we're at. We can get upgrades all day. We noticed that we didn't have our horticulture upgrade as well, our level 2 horticulture. So we're gonna get that. We're gonna get our broad axe, and yeah, we're just gonna keep trying to find a little bit of aggro. We do lose our Khan out here. Khan is super strong. I probably couldn't micro him. I just gave up because he's a Khan. I was like, oh, he's by himself. I'll let him die. But honestly, if you micro this Khan around, it's definitely worth it. The Khan is super strong in Imp Age. I think it's like 30 or 40 damage a shot. 35 or something. We'll check when he spawns back up. So, oh yeah, we're just massing our army. We're sending a bunch of rams. We're clearing out these towers. And we want to go push over here. I wasn't sure if this is fully walled, but we knew there was walls. We knew there was going to be more eco. We didn't see much eco over here, farms or anything. In terms of vision, this is all we saw. We saw some markets. We saw this castle. We saw some stables, but we saw there's walled here. Still has a tree line. We didn't see a lot of raidable opportunities, so we decided to push over here on the west. I was hoping that he was transitioned over here. Wood lines. We got a little bit of wood here and there. We're finishing this wood line, and we still have this whole wood line. He still has this whole wood line, and he's taking this wood in mid, which is a smart idea, taking the contested wood. If he had seen this, it would have been definitely a big slaughter, because it's out of his keep range, and his army, he doesn't have the army to contest this right now. So, regardless, Rams have hit. Our first army is here, kind of cleans up this forest. He's kind of starting to piecemeal attack us, and yeah, he's in a bad spot. You can see we're getting a ton of upgrades in terms of cannon towers. Oh, he attacks us over here. Okay, yeah, so he kills a lot of us. You can see our destroyed villager counts. We both killed over 100 villagers on the other side, so lots of damage. We're getting the upgrades. We're getting improved YAM networks so our traders can start healing. But we've busted through this wall over here, and we're just going to dive into his eco. It's a lot of Keshiks. 27 Keshiks, 8 Mangudai. So we're going to be able to do a lot of damage here. And these traders aren't going to be able to turn in. And this is at a moment, too, when he's gold starved. So this is like, I don't know, probably like 400, 500 gold right here. If he's able to concrete it. But he can't. We do have army just constantly rallying, constantly spawning. So we're able to clean up his knights here and get back to farming. We do lose a couple of villagers. Not end of the world. We're getting improved biology, tithe barns, and we do have 3 relics now at this point. Additional torches, so over at this point, we're setting up for a really strong push, and we're sending more units over. We're gonna keep rallying over. He's losing his L's back. There's rams in his base. We're just killing these walls just to make sure he doesn't repair them easily, because he's been repairing. And his gold is shut down at this point. And yeah, I mean, he's got, you know, he had decent gold. He's got decent food. Our food is starting to just disappear. That's definitely something we should have corrected. But at this point, it's hard to come back when you're at 57 gold and your opponent's got 17k in super imp age. So even though we don't have walls, cannon towers can do a whole bunch of work. That curl tie on your trade line can do a lot of work. And yeah, we're just able to outlast our opponent there and take the win. Definitely not the best match, a little bit sloppy, but worked out in the end. And I guess one thing too, the Mangudai opening can be decent against HRE, but again, once you guys that tower up, he reacted pretty good to the Mangudai play. It can make it really hard to play properly once they do that. So timeline wise, if we look at our villager count, you can see it was pretty crazy. We had pretty low villager count throughout, but we do kill a bunch of his villagers. He went basically straight up to just all villagers. But eco count, you can see we had actually a lead early, a little bit of a dip down, and kept a lead. So that's kind of what kept us just enough in the game to be able to keep up with him and to keep our military going. Our military count was ahead at some points, but mostly, here and there below. This is the late stage once we were basically established with cannon towers and a lot of towers, and it just becomes a point where he can't really push as well. Getting Imperial Age Mangudai really helped for any stopping any raids. They're really good kind of wither down type of a unit. So just to look out at some of the details of this game, we'll go to military. Killed 600, lost 450. So having that kill to death ratio is also kind of nice. Big difference in raised. Largest army doesn't make any sense, but that's one of those stats. Economy wise, you can see our food was really similar. I beat him out just barely by some wood or some food there, and that's because we had a lot of villagers there, and he didn't have his horticulture upgrades, and that's something too that we should have gotten earlier. Was our level 2 improved. If you get your level 2 and you get your level 1 and 2 improved horticulture, you basically have better than level 3. And if you get the level 3 and improved level 3, your food is actually really strong. The only hard thing is having enough pastures nearby to keep those villagers working. Our wood, again, way better. Just dedication to wood is definitely important. Stone, and as well as trade, we had trade influencing our wood as well. Stone, again, and gold, just huge differences there. So the game was definitely in the bag, perhaps a little bit earlier, but you can tell that the resource count shows a little bit more of that. Given our opponent, there you can see we're doing a lot of testing for the Mongol, the Mangudai opening. So thanks for watching, guys. This is a little bit of a long one. Yeah, hopefully I'll get that build order here done soon and some more 1v1s and get it posted up for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.